Hey there, social media. Welcome to week 4 of e-learning. I hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend and you're getting ready to dive right in. And if you haven't heard so far about what's going on with the rest of this semester, you probably should go back and watch yesterday's daily update. So I got a lot of information on there. So make sure you get that information and yeah. So just so you're all caught up. Okay, couple of things. Number one is no Zoom meeting this week. So I have canceled that for another class. They're doing a virtual conference online and it all overlaps when all of the Zoom meetings are. So I want to make sure that I get that information with them. So no Zoom meetings this week. So no touch point. So we're just going to do the other means of communication. Comments here, comments in the daily updates, and EDSB messages. Always good, by the way, guys. So also, just so you know, progress reports are coming out this Friday, which means that if you have not done some assignments, and let me just tell you, there are some outstanding assignments. You know who you are. You need to turn in your work like right away. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you probably should go back and watch some of the weekly videos and go on Etsy and get all the information, because some of y'all are a lot behind because it's week 4 and I should have a whole bunch of assignments from you guys. And I don't on some of y'all. So make sure you get that done. So you're probably asking, so what do I need to do this week, Miss Smith, so I can make sure that I'm all caught up and I got good grades and I don't have zeros on my progress report? Well, this week is a little bit easier. It's kind of a follow-up to what we did last week. So last week I had you guys talk about finding different trends that were happening online, going on and finding out some different trends, different stories that we're following. There were some really good ones that I was following myself. And for those of you guys who did submit the assignment, I was really glad. I saw what you did. You did a really good job to find the trends, follow them, analyze them. Now it's time to kind of look back. Look at those trends that you picked, those 2 trends that you decided to pick, and where are they now? Are they still trending? Are they significant still? Have they morphed into something else? Or have they completely disappeared? Are we no longer caring about them? So I want you to find out where they are. So think about that. The other thing is I want you to pick a new trend, and I want you to start thinking about where did it come from? Why is it relevant? What's going on? Why do people care about this? So there's a whole lot of stuff happening in the world. There's a whole lot of things happening on social media, a whole lot. And I'm sure you guys are aware, probably things that you don't even realize are trending because you're just so used to seeing it. That's a trend, guys. So go ahead and find those things, find one more thing. So you're going to be essentially following 3 things now. Those first 2 things, again, I just want you to kind of reflect like what happened. This third thing, this new thing, I want you to start thinking about essentially where is it going to go from here? What's going to happen? Why is it being covered? You know, what is making it trending right now? So I want you to think about that. So then I guess the third point that I'm going to have you guys reflect on is, what do you think are going to happen? So you're going to kind of predict the future at this point. In 1 week from today, what do you think is going to happen? Now think about where your previous trends were, like how in a week have they evolved? Have they done something interesting? Have they, whatever? So I want you to start thinking about that. What has happened with them that made it interesting, that made it trending? Kind of, did you follow the rise and fall, or is it still on the rise? Like, what's going on? And then think about the new trend you're following. Is it also on the rise, or did it blip just in a single day? You guys know there's all sorts of things that can happen with social media trends. So again, your third point is predict the future. 1 week from today, when it's May 1st, well, 1 week from your assignment being due, so May 1st, what's going to happen? Do you think that everything's going to change? Do you think that's going to be the same? Do you think all of it's going to continue to rise? Do you think we'll see a resurgence? Depending on, of course, what you choose will also determine what your analysis will be. So again, I just want like a paragraph basically about your observations. So it can be like literally a sentence a piece, like basically last week's assignment, new trend, current week. So that's basically like 3 sentences. So a paragraph, generally, if you're familiar with writing, is about 3 to 5 sentences, about 100 words. That's all I want. Okay, so that's what I want you to submit. You can submit it just through the comments. You can submit it through, like, type it up on a Word document or a notepad or something like that and submit it that way. So I don't care either way. So it's kind of catch up week a little bit. A little bit add on to last week's assignment. I want you to just start thinking, I want you to be watching these mobile trends. The other thing I thought was interesting, this is just a side note, so it's something to think about, is I had one of my fellow teachers actually we have like kind of an online forum that we all use to talk and like share different things that we're coming across. And she basically discovered this thing on TikTok about how TikTok's, of course, you know, what to know about TikTok in 2020. And I have to be honest, having been a social media teacher now for this entire year, I've of course been knowing about TikTok for quite some time. And even though I don't use it, I'm very well aware of what it is and how it functions and who the users are. And the most interesting thing, and I will, by the way, attach right below, if you see the description right below, there's gonna be a link to the article she sent, because there's a whole bunch of different graphics on there. And what's interesting is we've been talking about how things are trending. We've been talking about why things are trending and what we think about them and why they're important. Well, why do you think you guys are Gen Zers, so why do you think a non-Gen Zer is a little interested in why an entire platform is trending? I mean, as you well know, we are bored out of our minds at home for the most part. And so doing silly TikTok videos and time consuming and watching them and commenting them and sharing them with the world. I mean, seriously, I've seen 1,000 TikTok videos and I don't even have the app. Just from this quarantine. So I want you guys to think about like look at the article. It's got some really interesting points and graphics, and I'd love to talk about them with you guys. If you have any comments, please comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. And then just to be thinking like how do media trends now, like a previous assignment, we talked about all these older platforms, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and it's hard to believe, to be honest with you, those are older platforms, but TikTok being relatively new and how much it surged in trends. And so it's an interesting thought, like why now? Why more than anything else? And it's just an interesting thing to kind of, if we were in person, we'd have a really interesting discussion about it. We'd go over the graphs and why do you think it appeals to the younger generation as opposed to the older generation? Although, let's be honest, especially some celebrities, some of the older generations are really picking up. I mean, who was it? I just saw a TikTok video recently. I think Judi Dench was doing a weird dance with her grandson. I mean, Judi Dench, like M from, you know, the James Bond movies. Like seriously, Dame Judi Dench. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And honestly, it was really, she's really good. Not surprising, she used to be on Broadway and stuff, so you know, but still, it's just, you start thinking about that, and does that mean that it's peaked now? You know, because y'all have, you know, been very outspoken when it comes to when, you know, the older generations get on these platforms and start using them regularly, that's when you know it's peaked and you move on to something else. So does that mean what else is next? Or are you just kind of being like, hey, old grannies are awesome? That also could be a chance. And if you are, what makes that different than Facebook? What makes that different from anything else? Any of the other platforms that you guys have passed on by? So it's an interesting discussion, and I'd love to hear your points, you know. So if you have any comments, okay. If not, I look forward to reading your responses, following your trends, grading your assignments, because you have progress reports Friday. No Zoom meeting this week, guys. So hope you have a great rest of the week. And if you need to catch up, there's a lovely little box right up here. You can catch all the rest of the videos and assignments. All right. Bye. Miss you guys.